updated them, and there is also some new information. Also, I would just mention the 3 names there, and related to the, I would say, our educational things. You can always contact me and Sini. And I would also say that don't send any emails just to me. Send all emails both to me and Sini. And then also I want to introduce the third person here, Alexander Mahura, who is a formerly PI of Modest related to University of Helsinki. And he is involved in administration, and he has participated in some of the kind of administrative meetings and so on. So Alexander, can you introduce yourself shortly? Who are you and what are you doing?
My name is Alexander Mahura. I'm working in the University of Helsinki as University Research and doing atmospheric modeling, part of this Erasmus Models project. I have been invited to be the contact person from the University of Helsinki side and take care of different formal things, including administration of the project.
Yes, thank you. I'm very happy that you were in a way available to act as a PI in this project. And all kind of things which are more related to administration and that kind of things, then you should contact Alexander. Of course, you can also CC those messages to me and Steve. And here is the, there are partly also maybe something which is a little bit overlapping with the information that you got yesterday. But here is the structure of the master program. This is, I think that also good for you to see it again, how this master program is constructed, because we don't really have, that's also what you should know, is that we don't really have any specific scientific content courses in a PhD program. So what PhD students, what courses they are taking, they are from the master program. So the master program courses and the PhD courses, they are in a way the same. There are such a specific 10 credits which are those which are kind of philosophy of science, ethical things, and so on, which are and seminars which are devoted to the PhD students. But otherwise, it is really the field of sciences which we have listed here, which belongs to this atmospheric sciences. Those PhD students are taking courses from these fields, and then. We then looked at how from where the doctoral program doctoral students are coming from. So of course the quite big fraction of them are coming via the master program. So they have participated in master program, got the degree, master degree of that, and then they are applying to doctoral studies. And we have 4 application periods per year when you are applying. And then in this application, of course, there are 2 key issues which was already mentioned yesterday. Of course, there must be supervisor. No one can start the studies without supervisor or supervisors. And then in our doctoral program, there must be some kind of indication of the funding, so where the salary is coming, for the at least for the few years. This is kind of details. I go back to this funding a little bit later, but there must be funding because the students have the contract working contract to university when they are taking their PhD studies. Then it's possible also that you entered our program also from other master's programs. There is some fraction of them coming from somewhere else, or then they can be then also either from the University of Helsinki or could be also other universities, either in Finland or abroad. And then so there is this course open, and then students are applying. Then we have some kind of a specific thing also that there is mentioned here on the right lower corner, that we have also that kind of annual call for letters of intent. So we are in a way advertising our doctoral program in a way several international email distribution lists, and then students are then sending kind of letter of intent that telling that they are interested in it, what is their background, CV, etc., etc. But this is not really the application to the doctoral program. It's just in a way we try to survey the kind of a pool of available kind of students, and in the case that there is then this money funding available somehow, then those students who we think that we would like to recruit, then they can then apply to our doctoral program. This is a little bit, I think, that complex to you to maybe figure out that what is the system. But so there is a formal application period 4 times per year, and then there is that kind of annual call for those students who are not, especially not from here, we don't know them, we are in a way trying to find out that are there kind of, let's say, good students somewhere. And in the case that we can organize funding for that, they can then also do it. The number of the students coming from this annual call and by this letter of intent written by the student, the number is not very high, but we have recruited some students over the years. And then someone also asked yesterday, we were discussing in different kind of bodies the representatives who are there. So this is our doctoral program board, and I'm a chair as a leader of the doctoral program, and then these names are not important, but you see in a way the structure that they are mostly professors or associate professors, but there are also represented 2 students in the board. So and this is the kind of this ultimate body making decision concerning our program. So as was clear also yesterday, we always want to organize things so that the students' voice is also heard, so that it's not just the professors who are in a way ruling themselves and making the decisions. This is not the good way, in a way, to cover. So this is the important. Then we have one external representative who's coming from the Finnish Medical Institute, which is one of the biggest institutes beside the University of Helsinki, then recruiting, especially for the academic career, the students from us. Then I also want to maybe stress here to say something that I'm leading the program, but this is not my main job. So this is just a small fraction of my work. So it's difficult to estimate how much time this takes. But and I don't know whether Stini agrees with the number what I will now say, but I was thinking it, and I think that I may be using something like maybe on the average maybe a few hours per week to this program, which is then about 5% of my kind of work. So this is not kind of main job. I have other things to do, but I'm also leading this program. So these positions are not kind of just devoted to those things. I will more or less skip over this one, but this is just illustrating you that we have a quite broad spectrum of different research topics in our atmospheric program. And it's not just only related to atmosphere, but there are also these biospheric things, ecosystems and so on, where I also and my research group are very much involved. And then the students, the program, also now this is not maybe so important that for you that exactly what are the fields of science where the students are coming, but what is important is to notice that this is kind of, the program is not operated just under one faculty. So this is not just, the students are not coming just the faculty of science, where I'm working and where in a way the program is positioned. But it's also possible that there are coming the students, smaller fraction, but there are also students coming from the Faculty of Agriculture and Forestry, from Forest Sciences, and then also from the Faculty of Bio and Environmental Sciences related to environmental sciences. So there are students also coming from other things. But of course in those faculties, most of the students are then studying all the forest and agricultural sciences. But this is in a way the faculties are not in a way forming the borders for the students. So students can come to different faculties, go to another faculties from a kind of this post faculty. This is the important component. And at the moment, here are some statistics. At the moment, we have about 140 PhD students in our program, where 1/3 are foreigners outside Finland, and a little bit more than 50% are female. And last year, 90 students finished their PhD. And about 50% are employed by the university. And then now I say a little bit on this funding structure. As you now remember, there must be funding, otherwise you can't start the studies. So there is the program itself, which means that in a way, University of Helsinki from its kind of own funding directly to program. Then that the program would directly fund the students. So there are not very many of them, and we are calling them, we are using that kind of concept as a salaried position. So salaried position means that there is a student getting the salary from this program, and there is once per year kind of call for that, so that students can apply funding from the program itself. And the number of students getting the salary from that is quite small. Do you remember, Siti, how much is it at the moment?
2 or 3 per year.
Yeah, yes. It's just a few per year. So, and now if you are confused how we are then in a way to organize the salaries to students, so this is coming from by the external funding, which means the scientific process, where the funding may come from Academy of Finland, which is the biggest funder, EU, and so on. And those are the projects which are coordinated, or the PI of the project is a supervisor. And then he or she is hiring the PhD student within this project. But this is the external money, this salary is not coming from the university. And then there are, and most of the students are getting funding like that. And then there are also the small amount of students who may have been able to organize also external money by themselves. There are the several foundations for scientific science, supporting science, and there are several foundations which are once per year there is a call, and PhD students can apply to personal grant, and typically it is for 3 years, and then they work using that grant. So these are the main funding sources. But the biggest is the scientific project by some supervisors, senior scientists. And in our field, which is a quite cross-multidisciplinary, there are typically several supervisors, 2, sometimes 3, sometimes even more, because often the PhD student's topic is something that is crossing the several fields of science, for example, forest science, physics, and then there is good that there are supervisors also then of course from the different fields. And also what is important that the student is typically always part of the kind of the bigger group and the research group. And there are a lot of not only supervisors but other PhD students, postdocs there around, and typically the articles published as a part of the thesis contain several co-authors, not only just the student and the supervisors, but often there are easily from, for example, in my case, and I would say typically in all cases, and atmospheric science is typically from 5 to 10 co-authors in the papers, because typically you are also using quite kind of tools, data, the computer programs, etc., from the quite many different places. There is a lot of information. I'm not going this really to all details, but and there's already something which you heard, so it's altogether 40 credits, 30 plus 10. And then we discussed also a little bit yesterday about this, how many papers should be in the thesis. There is no any overall University of Helsinki kind of a rules on that. There is not even the general rule in our program. So it depends on the field. In the physical sciences, atmospheric sciences, but kind of related really to atmospheric physics, chemistry, meteorology, and so on, we have a quite strict requirements, which are often much stricter than in some other fields. So we are asking from 4 to 5 papers, so that the students should be the first author in 3 or 2 of them, respectively. And then all papers must be accepted. Still the aim is that the student will finish the thesis in 4 years, which is quite, difficult on the average to do, but not impossible. I have had one PhD student who finished less than 3 years, and she had maybe 5 papers, because he was maybe in 3 or 4 then the first autumn. Then I have also one student who made thesis 22 years. So you heard correctly, 22 years, but there was specific reasons for that. He was in practice working as in the technical stuff, but he was still doing the PhD. So it varies. And for example, in forest sciences, the requirements are low. 3 papers is enough, and even a few manuscripts are accepted, or that the manuscript is submitted, but the manuscript doesn't need to be accepted for publication. So it really kind of varies. And it's just depending a little bit like the tradition and history in this field. Good question is that there should be somehow harmonized this, but it's a little bit tricky to start to ask from others much more, or then start to lower your own requirements. But this is something which should be kept in mind. I say on that from this slide the main message is that besides these actual courses, then you can get also the credits, not very much, but you can also get the credits when you go to some conferences, you present your poster or especially oral talk, or you have a research visit to abroad, which, for example, takes at least several weeks and so on. So then you can get the credits also. This is very typical that our students are also annually going, typically even several conferences or international workshops and so on. But you can get the credit in all of them. It's some kind of limited number that you can get. And also on some other kind of things which are related to scientific work, which is not science per se, but like contributing to the application writing, some peer reviewing the students have been doing, you can also get the credit from those. And also to organizing conferences and so on. So there is a possibility to credit also from this angle. And then I think this is my last slide, yes. So I also drafted very quickly what happens after the PhD. And this was just something which in a way I did very quickly, and this is how I see it. And I'm not providing any statistics, but the most of the students continue as the postdoc. And often they go also outside Finland, at least for a few years. Whether they sometimes come back or not, that also depends. Very many of them are also coming back. But if you get already somewhere outside Finland some kind of interviewing position, you could even get the associate professorship or something, or want to continue, some are continuing there. And then although you may not go postdoc outside Finland, often you may go to outside University of Helsinki, so the place where you did your PhD. And there is Academy of Finland has some kind of special course for PhD students, not the students, the PhD, so postdocs, that you can apply from the grant for 3 4 years from Academy of Finland for your postdoc work. It's a very competitive and difficult to get. Typically about 10% of the applicants are getting this grant. But if you get it, it's a mandatory that you must go somewhere outside of University of Helsinki. So that's a mandatory. You don't need to go outside Finland, but you must go outside where you were doing your PhD. And or then you may also continue at the University of Helsinki, even maybe in the same team, if there is funding available. And typically funding is coming then from the supervisor or senior or someone else from the group, because it's not very easy to organize your own personal funding as a postdoc. Only for this possible is this, in practice, this Academy of Finland grant, which is not very easy to find. This funding is somewhere else, the senior scientist, supervisor, and so on. But also the some fraction, and I don't have a statistics, but the fraction is not just very, very tiny, so it's a significant. Also leaves university or academic world. So the kind of typical examples is that you go to some kind of expert work, somewhere, for example, in ministries or some kind of international organization or something where you are not really doing science, research, but something else. But you use there your expertise. Or then it's also becoming more and more common that, for example, private companies are hiring, for example, students from our field to data mining. So in a way that the data is not maybe scientific data, it can be, for example, transport companies like aviation or the railway companies. I know that there is some students went, for example, one my group, and they are then mining and analyzing the behavior of customers. What kind of the tickets the customers are buying and so on, and it's kind of a big data, but it's not the big scientific data. But this is where they have a very big skills, because very many of our students are working with field measurement data, which can be very, very complex and long-term data sets and so on. So they have the skills for that type of data. I'm ending now. Questions? Yes. And you get this slides. How you are collecting? How you collect the slides?